Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Luigi's Mansion. I think it might be safe to say that this could be the penultimate episode of this whole Let's Play because as you can see here we have only 5 more boosts to go. Speaking of which, there's one hiding in there somewhere. Yeah, we have 5 more boosts to go and there's only a couple of the portrait ghosts that are left, and so after that then we should be done with this here. So I'm going to go ahead and see where exactly the boo was hiding. It's one of the boos that I failed to catch, you know, the one that got away and then now he's just hiding back over there. It should be noted that whichever boos that you fail to catch, and if you reload your save file, then they'll actually just go back to their, well, I guess they'll go wherever hiding position it was, though, or maybe back to the original ones, though. Because, you know, since I went ahead and reloaded my save file, oh, nice, I got some more health. I went ahead and reloaded my save file, and then that's when I went to this room, and then that boo was hiding in there somewhere again, because that was that was the one boo that was originally here, but then I lost it. So that's probably what it is, though, if you just reload your save file. Now, if I can actually find where it is, where it's supposed to be, it's in this barrel. There we go. Oh, yeah, Boo or Petey's. I'm a tragedy. It says you. So, yeah, that's when I failed to catch. It was, yeah, originally in this room, but, yeah, I lost it. And, god damn it, I lost it again. Alright, let's see here. I also never mentioned this, but if you go in those dark hallways and you're still chasing after those boos, they'll actually very quickly go back into the other room, because remember, boos don't really like being in the dark. They'd rather go somewhere where it's a bright light. And yeah, you can see here that I took damage from them. Well, that's because they were in the way. There was no way of getting around them. And so yeah, they could explode, and so Luigi will actually act like he's catching on fire. And then, you know, he gets unlocked for like quite a while there. Alright, now this room right here, it's a little frustrating because there's so many things. It's a small room, there's quite a bit of things here, and there's also the plank right here. It feels very tight, and it doesn't really leave you much room. Especially if you're dealing with those grabby ghosts. And those are the ones that actually hurt you whenever they grab you. Alright, so that's done. First and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and, well, actually I was going to eat the acid melon. It's Buffon. Nice hair, green. Oh, Buffon, and a little stylish boo here. So this boo right here, this one's actually pretty easy, though, despite the fact that he also has 300 fucking HP. But this one's actually pretty slow, so, even though it might take a while, though, well, he could still escape anyway, though. Because of how slow he is, and, okay, yeah, he got away, but, yeah, because of how slow he is, and it's not as hard. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is that, I want to go ahead and take the ice element, and then spray over this toxic goo, or whatever it is here. And yeah, pass me, you can stop now, the ice is frozen already. Yeah, so I had to make sure it was all completely frozen. And there's supposed to be was there another boo, or was it another one of those booby traps? Okay, yeah, just a boo ball. Alright, so this is where Luigi does some actual plumbing for once. You know, him, you know, like he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a plumber, so he's actually doing it for once. Also, for some reason, that pipe here has jingle bells on it. Huh, jingle bells in a horror-themed game with, like, Christmas references? What is this, Nightmare Before Christmas? Alright, so by turning this valve over on the pipe, and then the waterfall will disappear. And we get another key. And this key, I believe, leads to another door in the, yep, over in the basement. And so we need to take that right over there. So, yeah, yeah, it freezes over and then becomes ice here. And actually, speaking of ice, that other room really annoys me so much for one reason and one reason only. And I also struggle a bit here. You can see I actually took some heavy damage. I only have like 61 health left. This here is the cold storage. Ha, yeah, literally cold storage. I see what they did there. And yeah, I don't like this room very much though, because for one reason, ice physics. Yeah, you're going to be dealing with some ice physics here, so you really got to be careful. And also these stalactites raining down on you too. That is what's really annoying. Although, I will say, these affected the diamond dust over here. They look real nice here. It's actually one thing that the GameCube is capable of with diamond dust. Oh, hello. Hot! Oh, very hot. You're making it too hot. I'm going to cook in this heat. I'm going to melt. Did you light these fires? What were you thinking? People who start fires in this mission better be ready to pay the price. Now learn your lesson. They should learn your lesson just not being frozen. Don't you even enjoy here? Alright, so this here is Sir Weston, and, based on what he's born, could he be the long-lost father of the ice climbers? I don't know, maybe. But, yeah, Sir Weston here is, well, you know, he's annoying to deal with. I mean, he's not really that hard, though, because all you have to do is, if you have the fire element with you, then, just melt the ice down, and then you can actually be able to expose his heart. But there's a catch, though. You are dealing with ice physics, and you're also dealing with stalactites all over. So, yeah, that's one thing I really do not like about this room. And you can see here that I'm taking quite a bit of heavy damage, only because of that kind of instance here. So, yeah, yeah, it's because of all those. So, yeah, fuck this room. And, yeah, I'm only so close here because I think it's got, like, 6 health left, probably. Yeah, just 6 HP left, so yeah, get in there. And it's got more boos as well. And also, yeah, while I was trying to catch boos, and I was taking some heavy damage there. But, these ghosts here, those are actually the choir ghosts, so, I actually did say the rest of them will be optional, though, but it is actually true, though, with, a couple of those, like Soupy, for instance, and I think well, that wasn't Clockwork Soldiers, I think it was, like, a Soupy. Guys, here's Buffon again. Let me think here, but yeah, it was just those ones, but these other two portrait ghosts we're going to catch, those are the required ones, because, the last one we're going to catch has the key that we need to get to the final room. Alright, so for this one here, now, I actually didn't realize it was some new dialogue. I thought it was just, like, repeated ones, but, or, no, was it? No, okay, no, never mind. There was some special dialogue, which I accidentally skip over later on, because I thought he was going to say the same thing. Also, if you listen closely, yeah, you can actually hear that if Luigi's health runs too low, then his cries for Mario actually get more desperate. And you actually heard this after we defeated Blue Losses, after that big struggle I had there. Catch me, Boulder Dash! Okay, yeah, Boulder Dash, I was gonna say, like, you know, well, kind of like Boulder Dash, but it's supposed to be a play on words on a Baller Dash, which you know, means bullshit, but, okay, there's supposed to be another boo that's supposed to be here, I think there was, yes there is, this one, oh, yeah, Boo Repeaties, that's one I would try to catch, but I couldn't catch him because he's goddamn ice physics, and, oh, look at that, did you see what I did there? Somehow I actually caught that boo that was off screen, that's like, that's weird, but okay, that's, you know, that's some skill there. Yeah, oh yeah, back to what I was saying about Luigi sounds. So, yeah, so if you're low on health, then Luigi actually gets, you know, sounds weaker too. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and off screen right here because I need some more health because I'm running low. So there we go. But if you actually get so low on health, then Luigi actually gets more and more terrified. Where, you know, for instance, whenever you press the A button to call for Mario, then Luigi's cries for Mario actually sounds so much weaker and much more terrified, and, you know, where, you know, he actually sounds more desperate, because, you know, he's actually scared for once, and, you know, he's getting so close to dying, you know, you can hear go like, Mario, or something like that, right, or, you know, to the point where I'm already screaming his name, and that really sounds terrifying when you think about it, because, like, you know, because Luigi gets so close to dying, and you know, he's so desperate to see his brother again. Okay, so this is dialogue right here that, they say here. So apparently there's this artist called Van Gore, or Vincent Van Gore, and so from what he's saying here is that we're gonna be meeting him later on, though, because he's actually gonna be the final portrait ghost in the entire game that we'll be encountering. And so yeah, for that we have 2 more boosts to go. So yeah, this Van Gore person, well we'll see here. We'll talk more about him once we actually get to meet him in person, but yeah, like, back to what I was saying, yeah, that really sounds, like, you know, heartbreaking and just terrifying, you know, just hearing Luigi so scared, and, you know, because he's so close to dying, and, you know, and he actually sounds more desperate to try to fight Mario, and that's why his cries are sounding more desperate and more terrified, because, you know, because, like, you know, he's, because it sounds like he's in so much despair over, you know, if he dies and he's never going to see his brother again, and, you know, and that really does make the beta versions I was talking about. That actually really makes it more horrifying, honestly, and, you know, and considering, like, you know, with Luigi's mental state, because, I don't know, maybe he has some sort of mental thing going on, and, you know, where it would really affect him so badly if something bad happens to Mario, because, you know, for the fact that they're brothers, and so, yeah, I mean, you know, I can't really blame him either, because, you know, when it comes to someone that you love, like, you know, a very close relative, or, you know, or even if it's not, you know, blood related per se, but, you know, it happens to be someone you're especially close with, then you would feel the same way too for that kind of particular person. And, you know, and I can relate to that too, honestly. But yeah, going all those aside, so yeah, here's the I can't remember what the name of it was. No, I think it was. Oh, okay, that's right. That was Boulder Dash. So he kind of does live up to his name though, where, you know, where it has Dash in the name. He is actually very fast, you know, much faster than Buffon. You know, actually the opposite of Buffon, where you know, he was actually especially slow. But Boulder Dash here, because, you know, because of the name, then he's fast, and you're gonna have a harder time trying to catch him here too, especially if you're trying to catch him in cold storage, and, you know, and having to deal with the ice physics. So yeah, that's what you can see here that I'm that I'm actually, trying to suck him up, and I'm actually strong here. But, oh, look at that. There we go. I actually managed to suck him up in cold storage with the ice physics. Alright, folks, so now we have 49 boos. We have one last boo to go. Even though, despite that we already met the quota for us to be able to actually beat the game, because we need 40 boos, though. But we're actually pretty close here. We just have one more boo to catch, because, I just want to do like a little completion bonus here. And you actually do get rewarded for getting all the boosts here. And yeah, I know I'm actually jump cutting here. I hope you guys didn't get lost of this here, but just take a look at your Game Boy Horror on the layout of the map, and then see where the key is, and you won't really get lost, guys. It's very hard to get lost here. So this is the artist studio, and wow, oh, nice pennies here. It is you. No, you interfere with my other life's work. Oh, hello. Oh, nice art there. I actually kind of admire you, to be honest. You filthy swine! You're blind to the life I give my creations! Then very well, I will show you the mastery of my art. Alright folks, so this here is Vincent Van Gogh, the final portrait ghost in the entire game. And this one is in basically, well, it's basically supposed to be an ultimate gauntlet. Where, he's gonna, those ghosts will come out of these canvases. And you have to suck them all up. So, since they're going to be so close to each other as soon as they come out of the canvases, then as long as your positioning is good, then you should be able to suck all three of them at once, which I actually did manage to do with the other ghosts. But yeah, that's what it is. That's the ultimate gauntlet for the ghosts. It makes sense though, because it's a final portrait ghost, and this one, of course, is required because he holds the key for us to get to the final room. Now, for a little bit of trivia here, it's either heavily implied or outright stated that that Vincent Van Gogh is actually the one responsible for all these ghosts that are running rampant in the mansion. So just by painting them, and so he actually brought them to life, if that makes any sense, because they're ghosts and they're not supposed to be teeming with life because they're ghosts. They're supposed to be dead, but whatever. I mean, they're supposed to be paintings though, just so brought to life, but. Yeah, but it should be outright stated or worth noting that Vincent Van Gogh is actually the one responsible for all the ghosts that are running rampant in the mansion. So yeah, he's basically like I guess you could say King Boo's second in command for those little ghosts, because since King Boo's supposed to be the real mastermind of it all, but I would say that it's also with Vincent Van Gogh, either be also being the mastermind of the little ghosts or just at least a second in command, whichever way you want to go for. But I think all the game outright states so is just just to him being the reason for all these little ghosts, but not really explained in full though for one thing though. But it's pretty sure what it is. It's just about close enough, I would say. And at least makes a lot of sense too, honestly. Alright, so yeah, as long as you know what you're doing, this gauntlet isn't so bad per se though. It is going to be a little bit long though, because basically just sucking up all those ghosts one by one from all those canvases all the way until the end. So yeah, I can take a bait here. There are a couple of the ghosts that I also have a bit of a hard time with. For one thing, because for one thing that's actually being very dickish. But let's go ahead and set it right here. There we go. So the next one, once I get to those trash ghosts that we're about to see here, the one with the banana peels, that's what we're actually had a harder time with though, because here's what keeps happening is that I was trying to flashlight at them, hopefully to stun them, but then they did disappear immediately afterwards, and it keeps doing that constantly, like quite a lot here. And I don't know if it's because either it's a glitch or maybe if it's part of the challenge and all that though. But if anything though, it's absolutely really irritating and annoying that that I try to stun them first, and then hopefully I would suck them up. But then they just decided to just go away right over there. Or maybe it's because of the AI or something, the way the ghosts are. But either way, it's really been annoying me a lot. It keeps happening to me quite a lot of times where I just try to stun them and then they just immediately vanish afterwards before I even had the chance to do so. And I hate it when that happens. I really do. It's definitely one of my biggest pet peeves in this game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I really enjoy this game a whole lot though. It's it's definitely a real fun time though. But it is definitely one of those pet peeve tropes they have to deal with here. And also even so with these bomb ghosts, where they still literally do the same thing too, where I shine them and then they also disappear. Yeah, I'm seeing like that, and I have to deal with that a lot, and it's annoying. I hate it when that happens. And also I would get the chance here too, but I keep missing my chance here because I was trying to avoid the bombs. Because it is pretty easy to actually get hit by the mobs too, especially if you get close to them and they either explode in your face or you actually take damage from the remaining residue from the bombs. So if I can actually just get them in here, there we go. All right, just one last ghost to put in there. And that's all she wrote. If I can get him in there. Come on. God damn it. Get in here, you son of a bitch. Come on. There we go. Alright, and that's all of them. Alright, so all that's left is Vincent here. My creations! But even if I disappear, my work will live on. That is right, n'est-ce pas? Art is eternal. Oh? You say that only one of my creations is left? But this cannot be! Zodalore! I think that's how you pronounce it in the French one. I don't know, don't ask me, because, like, you know, or probably, you know, those of you who are using Duolingo, then, you know, you probably might know about it here. Alright, so now let's go ahead and suck up Vincent Van Gogh, and so see if I can actually just suck him all the way through and be able to get the gold portrait. And booyah! There we go. Now that's an assured gold portrait here. So that was the very last portrait ghost there, ladies and gentlemen, which I will check on my status here. And now I'll drop it as a gold key, and that will take us over to the final room. Now, one thing I have to warn you guys, though, make sure you pick up this key before leaving. Do not leave this room without picking up the key, because if you do, the key will actually disappear, and you essentially get soft lock. And you have to reload your file to actually get the key again, but then that actually misses your chance for the boo. It's either an oversight or an outright glitch because of that here. And, you know, that's, you know, very much of a design flaw or just them overlooking here, which, you know, I gotta say, it's actually really bad. And, you know, and they probably should just, you know, playtest it here. But, you know, it's definitely a glitch. So, yeah. Yeah, make sure you pick up the key before leaving this room. Do not leave the key in there. Otherwise, it will disappear and you have to reload your save file. But then the room will stay dark and then you won't be able to catch your boo. So, yeah, in other words, that boo will essentially be lost forever. So, yeah, especially going after 100% completion. And that really bugs me, too. That's, you know, that is really, that is a bad design choice or just a bad glitch that they, or some kind of oversight they did here, which I honestly hated those things. Now, I hear they actually do fix this in the 3DS version, which I'm thankful for, though. I've never played the 3DS version, though. I really haven't had much of the interest to do so, though. But I might have to try it out at some point, though. But yeah, I do hear they fix this in the 3DS version, at least. So now there's that very last boo that we have right here. So yeah, we managed to get all the other boos here. So there's boo number 50, the very last one. And he keeps on going back and forth here. So yeah, especially if you're dealing with the boos that have high amounts of HP, then yeah, you're going to be dealing with a lot of back and forth here. Which, you know, if it's constant though, then yeah, it can get pretty annoying too. But, you know, but at the very least, though, then he's only going to be in that hallway and then to the room back and forth, though. So at least you won't really have to go all around just to find them. So, come on, almost there, almost there. Oh, god damn it, I was so goddamn close. Come on, let's get in there. Come on. Oh, okay, we didn't even give me a chance there. All right, 8 more HP to go. Come on, get in there. And yes, we did it, folks. We did it. And there's our final reward here. We have all 50 of the boos there, folks. All 50 of them. We did it. We got a little completion right there. And so our reward here is that gold diamond. So we pick it up, and that one is... oh, well, actually, we have 2 of them here. But, yeah, those gold diamonds are actually worth 20 million. So let's go check out our stats here with the Z button. So what I got here? Here we are, folks. We have all of the ghost portraits here. Every last one of them. And so we got all those, and we have all 50 of the boos, and so therefore, we did it, guys. Now, we may not exactly have the highest rank that there is there, because I'm not sure we'll probably have enough for to reach the highest rank there. But you know, but at the very least, though, we have all that we need to collect here. We have all 50 of the boos. We have all the portrait ghosts. So we basically did that kind of completion goal right here. So that's at least the very least a goal that I reached for this Let's Play. So we did it, guys. We got all of them. So I would say, you know, with all that kind of objectives we have in our disposal, I would say that we are now ready to face King Boo. So let's head over to the final room, and so I'll actually just call a wrap right there, and then we'll just save for the finale. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is go all the way down to the basement, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and stop at the last hallway before the final room, so that way we'll face King Boo. So that's gonna be our very last objective there. And so yeah, we're definitely almost there, folks. So yeah, like I said, it is a very short game. Because, you know, well, I mean, if you're not really going after all the boos, if you're just going for the requirement amount, then, you know, this game won't really take you all that long. I mean, I would say, like, 7 hours at most, though, I would say. Well, I'm only saying that according to the lyrics from Rental Floss. Because, you know, it says, it won't last long, 7 hours, and you're done. But, you know, that's basically, like, you know, what it is here. I mean, I'm not sure if it's for the whole completion thing there, or if it's, you know, just in general. Maybe less than 7 hours, though. But either way, it's a pretty short game, though, so, you know, it really shouldn't take it that long, but yeah, either way, you know, only took me like 12 episodes for this Let's Play, so here we go. So this here is the final hallway before we get to King Boo, and, you know, as long as you have that key right there. And then that'll do it for this episode. So, next time on Let's Play Luigi's Mansion, in the finale, we're going to head to the final room, and we will face King Boo and see if we can save Mario. So with that, I will see you guys next time.